When you want to save stuff online, Wakelet can be a great tool to help you do that. So to use Wakelet, you go to wakelet.com, and the first time you're going to sign up. And when you do sign up, you're going to continue with Google. When you do, it's going to ask you to choose yourself. Then it's going to connect with your Google account. Then it's going to say, hey, welcome. And it's going to ask you a couple of questions the very first time you do it. Once you've done this once, you never do it again. Okay, great. You need a username. Just use your email. It's going to automatically pick one for you, so you're good to go there. And then it's going to say, what do you do? Education is what we do. So, or even better, student. We're student. And then we're going to next it. And then it says you have to pick two of these. It absolutely makes zero difference what you pick. So just pick two and move on, right? So I'm going to say, I don't know, I'm going to say arts and culture and business because they're the first two. Done. And then I'm going to be in my Wakelet account. Now, from now on, whenever I come to Wakelet, it's going to remember me and I'll be able to, it'll just bring me right in. So like if I go to a different, screen and it just brings me right into my personal account. And so the first thing you can do in Wakelet is create a collection. So a collection is where you're going to be able to store your stuff. So if I click on create a new collection, it'll say, hey, what's the name for your collection? So let's call it debate 2, since we're getting ready to start debate 2. And then I can put a description if I want. This is info to help me with my debates. Once I've got my information in there, I can add some content. And so you can add so many different things. And this is one of the cool things about Wakelet is that you can put in like a URL. So let's say that I was over at Dogo News and I'm in this article and I found some really good information here. I can copy the information and I can paste it in, or I can just grab the whole URL. And if I go back to Wakelet, when I paste in the URL, it's going to save that whole article for me, which it'll tell me, hey, when you're finished doing what you're doing, you can close it and your collection is available to you. All right, great, thanks. Saving the URL is fine for an article, except what is it from that article that I actually really want? Like, what's the part that's interesting or important to me? What I can do is there's an extension. And if I click on the link in the slideshow for Wakelet extension, it's going to say, oh, okay, here it is. And I can add that to Chrome. Say, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Go ahead and add that. The very first time you add in that extension, it's going to do a couple of things. So like when you go to a new blank page, it's going to actually have changed your blank page. It's going to do a couple of different things to your Chrome experience. And so one of the things it's going to do is it's going to change what you see when you go to a new blank page. And the first time you go there, it'll say, hey, this got changed. Do you want to change it back? Don't say restore, because then it's going to take away your use of the Wakelet extension. There's a way to turn this off. We'll come back to that in a little bit. All right. So let's say that I've got this page that I come across. It's got some really good information in it. I can copy, Control C, and then when I hit the Wakelet button, it's going to grab the information about that page. It's going to grab the image. It's going to grab the title. It's going to grab a summary of the thing. And what I can do is I can actually go in and add my own info here. So here's the sentence that's super important. And I can put why it's important. This shows why my side of the debate is right. So I can grab that, and then it'll ask me, where do you want to put that? And I can actually put it with a collection that already exists, or I can create a new one. I'm going to say, I want to save this to my Debate 2 collection rather than creating a new collection. So I'm going to save it. And then when I go back to Wakelet, it's showing me that in Debate 2, I now have this new thing. There's the stuff I copied. There's my note about it. And what I can actually do is I can edit and I can write my own thoughts and notes by adding text. I can say, this next article totally rules to show why my side is the best and the other side is dumb. So I can put in my note. if I want, I can even actually put in all different kinds of stuff. If there's a YouTube video that's appropriate to what I'm trying to research, I can put it in there. If I want to connect something that I've been working on my drive, I can even record a Flipgrid video in here, which would be handy if I was trying to work on my debate. I could have my notes right here in front of me, and I can record practice sessions of going through my notes and how it's going to sound. So you can also go in and add your own cover image for your collection. So let's choose one from the library that they've got. I'm going to say my debate is about cars, so I'm going to get a picture of this car to put on there as my header picture. And now I've got my debate 2 set. I can add more stuff. I can drag and rearrange stuff, which is great to put it in the order that it belongs. So it offers some different kinds of features than Keep does. One last thing about Wakelet. I said that when you open up a new tab after you've installed Wakelet, it shows you your Wakelet collections instead of a regular new tab page. So if you want to change that, you can right click on the Wakelet button and go to where it says Options, and then you can turn off Enable Wakelet extension for new tabs. And that way when you go to your new tab, it'll just be a new tab. Okay, super simple.